Yes, we finally found some bleach and canned chicken. We got another bag of balsamic rice, elbow macaroni, or elbow, what is this? Elbows, shell, and no alcohol anywhere. Okay. Bodies left in the streets as COVID-19 overwhelms Ecuador. In this pic, people with facial masks transport a coffin to a cemetery in Guayaquil, Ecuador on Wednesday. April the 2nd, UPI. The climbing death toll from the coronavirus pandemic in Ecuador's largest city, Guayaquil, has left morgues overwhelmed, causing some bodies to be wrapped in plastic and left lying in the streets. Other bodies lie unclaimed in the city's hospitals and clinics as deaths outpace the city's ability to bury COVID-19 victims. Quote, "They're leaving them in the villages. They fall in front of the hospitals," Mayor Cynthia Vetera said in a video message last week. "No one wants to recover them." Vetera herself is in quarantine after testing positive for COVID-19. So the mayor of that Ecuador town has sadly tested positive, but hopefully she will recover. Pedro Zavala, a paramedic from Machala, told the Miami Herald that he's twice had to transport ventilators to Guayaquil. Quote, "Hospitals are running out of everything," he said. "People are looking for oxygen tanks, respirators, ventilators, masks, anything." And that's what I was getting to on this video, is that there's videos of people, when people are falling dead in the streets of Ecuador, people are running up to them, pulling off their mask and putting it on themselves. These people do not know how this thing is spread. I mean, they're going to get infected themselves from doing that. Ecuador has had at least 3,100 confirmed cases. That's 3,100 confirmed cases and 120 deaths as of Thursday afternoon, according to figures from Johns Hopkins University. That's more than every other South American country other than Brazil and Chile. But Guayaquil officials say they've collected at least 400 bodies in recent days. People are asking that some authorities take charge of the dead, but the lack of response means they are being left in the central streets of Guayaquil. Juan Carlos Freire, an attorney, told the Los Angeles Times. Viteri said the city was recovering the unclaimed bodies in refrigerated cargo containers as officials worked to plan a new cemetery for the dead. Hector Galarza, a publicist, told the Times that many of the bodies lying in the streets are the indigent. They didn't seem like indigent to me, because they had a wife with them, and they were with somebody. They weren't by themselves. And that is a report from Ecuador. Well, hello, glorious people. I'm just watching this CR England trying to back in. He looks like I think he's confused. Anyways, we'll keep an eye on him. He's got a spotter. Sometimes that don't help though. And to the right of me is a Swift. Not parked by me, but he's waiting to see if he can get a spot too. But yeah, well, morning time. I have to wait a day to get my other load that loads in the morning, and currently it is the morning before. So I have to wait almost 24 hours to get a load. All right, Swift, what are you doing? You just turning around or what? Are you going on the scales? All right. All right. Well, he better crank it over a little bit so you're gonna make it on the scales. There you go. I've noticed people, I want to make a short clip about masks. Now, I've noticed that a lot of people are uneducated. They don't study this virus or try to get information about this virus, and I think most of those people are not wearing masks when they go out. I think they just don't care. I think that is selfish. I think it's irresponsible. I'm sorry if you're one of those people, but I've noticed that with people wearing masks, some people some people will acknowledge, that you're wearing a mask, it's a good thing, but you get into these poorer neighborhoods, and especially around these truck stops, these drivers, they don't care what's going on, really. They just care about their paycheck. They kind of look at you if you're wearing a mask like you're sick, and you're like, no, the whole point of wearing a mask is to keep from getting sick. And I think they're soon going to find that out. There's certain groups that are more that have attitudes like that in certain ways, where they think that it's fake and they don't need a mask. Anybody wearing a mask, might have an infection, and it's freaking BS. It's totally back-asswards thinking, doing that, and they're soon going to find that out when their friends start dropping dead. But they're going to blame the people wearing the mask. That's what they're going to do. Well, all those people wearing the mask, they were infected. No, it's you and people like you that are not wearing a mask that are getting people infected. And the CDC in the United States has come out and said that, we may start making people wear a mask. Well, too little, too late, don't you think? I mean, you had information that this disease is airborne up to 3 hours at a time after somebody leaves the spot. Somebody can sneeze or cough, and the virus could be airborne for 3 hours in that spot, around that spot. So we might start making people wear a mask. I think they should make it a law for now that people, if you're going to go out, if you don't have a mask, at least cover your face. I know a lot of people can't get masks, but at least cover your face with something. Put a t-shirt around it. I don't want to breathe in your breath or your cough. I mean, come on. I mean, some people think that it's not cool to wear a mask, or I don't know what they just have this. They're uneducated to the facts of this virus. They don't care. And those are the people that need laws made for them, unfortunately, that affect the rest of us. But this thing is, this is a killer. This is a killer virus. And, example, New York City, New Orleans, Los Angeles, Seattle, Washington State. Even in Texas, it's going to get bad in Texas too. And all this could be prevented. The community spread could be prevented from, the first video I did on this, from wearing proper personal protective equipment. Not necessarily proper, but just personal protective equipment, the best you know how. And a bandana around your face, to keep your breath from getting in somebody else's air system, or even eyes. That seems like a logical thing to do. But still, people. I'm down here in Dallas right now, Dallas Fort Worth, and I haven't seen one person today with a mask on. They just think that it's not going to happen to them. It's not going to happen. Yeah, we'll see. Well, see, when the numbers start crunching up, when they start putting reefers in the back of the hospitals, like, New York City and these other towns, I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I mean, this disease it will kill you. It will kill your family if you're not careful. So take the proper precautions. I mean, if you're not convinced, look at the Ecuador videos. I mean, a lot of people have filmed. Now, they didn't film a lot in China because the Chinese government was, taking away their stuff. They won't let them do it. They can't get out on the internet. The internet is censored in China. But look at the Ecuador videos. People are dropping dead on the streets in Ecuador, I saw one guy, he was overweight and he was just leaning against this building, and I don't know if it was his girlfriend or wife was with him, and he fell flat on his face on the concrete. I know that wasn't fake, There's no way you can pay me to fall flat on my face on concrete. I don't care how much money you give me. But this is sort of a rant video because of this, and some of those Ecuador videos this is case in point. People do not educate themselves on the facts of this virus. I mean, many people in the world are dying. They're getting reports on that, yet they can't take the time to look it up on the internet. Look at the cases. I mean, look at the what the health professionals are saying, what the World Health Organization is saying, and whether they're valid or not, that's a different story, a different story for a different time. But what the CD is saying, because I mean, you witness people on these videos. Someone will drop dead from this virus, and people in Ecuador, they go take off their mask and put the mask on themselves. Yeah, you believe that? Someone drops dead from the virus and they go take the mask off of the person and put it on themselves, thinking that that's going to keep them from getting whatever they got. And they're uneducated to the facts of how this is spread, and it's crazy. It's just crazy the way some people think out there, the way some people refuse knowledge. I mean, what does the Bible say? It says, my people are condemned or whatever for the lack of knowledge. My people are done away with for the lack of knowledge. So if you don't want to acquire knowledge about this thing that's tearing up the world, then it may come creeping into your neighborhood and your house. So, learn what you can about it. I mean, it's airborne up to 3 hours. And still people are walking around without any mask on. I mean, I really do. I really do think the federal government needs to put in a law, unfortunately, that requires anybody that's out in public to have a face covering, to cover their nose and their mouth, because they're not doing it willfully. They know this is they see the reports, they hear the news on radio and TV that how many thousands of people this virus is killing, how infectious this virus is. It's up over to 1 million count infected now, and they still refuse to protect themselves and to protect the public. Protect other people. I would at least protect myself. That's why I wear a mask. I'm not doing it for everybody else. I'm doing it so I don't bring it home to my family. It's worked so far for me, and I don't know. Maybe we need to make a law. Maybe they need to go ahead and make a federal law that people need to wear mask coverings on their face. They should have done that. They should have done that 2 or 3 weeks ago. Personally, is the way I feel. I mean, you have a contagious disease that is spread easily with a high death count. 20 to 30 times more lethal than the flu. All right, the flu is 0.1% is the mortality rate. 0.1%. Yes, it's contagious. Yes, the flu is contagious, but it only has a 0.1% mortality rate. I mean, people are immune to the flu. They get better, you know. But this one is a novel virus. I mean, nobody's immune to this. So if you get it, it's going to mess you up. And it's an actual SARS mutated disease too. It's not like the flu. It's an ARDS disease. It attacks your respiratory system. You know, if you get pneumonia, you only stand a 50-50 chance of living from this disease, from this COVID-19. So, anyways, that's my rant for the day. I mean, for now, anyways. As I see day beyond day, cases beyond cases, doubling every 3 to 4 days. Now it's over 1 million people infected. It's tearing up New York City, you know, and other clusters, New Orleans, Los Angeles. I mean, it's tearing cities apart. It's tearing the country apart, and people still refuse to protect themselves. It's amazing. I just cannot believe how stupid people are. I really can't. I mean, we've all seen movies of you know, some apocalypse movies, and people usually take heed to it in the movie at least, and protect themselves and protect the ones around them. What's going on now is like that. It's like that one commercial where I forget what brand it was, but there were these teenagers and they just did the opposite, you know, of what was safe for them. The guy with a chainsaw was out chasing them or something, and they got out of the car and they said, "Oh, let's run into this barn." And they run into this barn, and here are all these weapons in this barn, you know. And that guy just shakes his head like, man, these people are stupid. That's what's going on today. I mean, these people are, look, there's 2 more of them. Just went into Love's. No mask. Both of them will probably die in the truck. Well, hopefully not. You know, I pray that it doesn't hurt anybody, but it's killing a lot of people, and it's just going to keep doing it if people aren't going to take the proper precautions. So maybe we need to institute a law making people wear. That's the only way it's going to stop the spread. Yes, locking down, yeah, locking down helps, but all these essential workers, like the 2 you just saw, 95% of them don't wear a mask. They don't keep their breath, you know, out of the air of other people when they go in somewhere. They just came out of the truck stop. And, you know, their breath is still in that truck stop. Their germs, whatever germs they had, who knows if one of them sneezed or coughed in there, you know. I mean, so yeah, I'm all for a law making people wear masks, you know, just for the short period of time, just until we get this under control. But I'm all for a law making people wear masks, because they're not doing it. They see the danger and they run into the barn with all the sharp objects when a killer's chasing them. That's basically what it is. If you ever see that commercial, it's pretty funny. I think it's for a horror movie or some type of play on a horror movie. But anyways, a lot of news has happened. It's hard to keep up with the news. So much is going on, and it's happening so quick. But we'll try to be back with an update. I'll have a little bit of time to do that.